Hello. How's everyone doing? Good. I feel bad because it's lunchtime, and I hope I'm not keeping you hungry or anything. But kidding. But then teams will leverage AI to really bond those channels together. So that's how we see the future of marketing going. But then we actually ask B2B marketers, how can we actually help your day-to-day? What can we do today with AI that you think it would help? We simply tallied up all the responses and looked at the top most mentioned stuff. So for B2B marketers, one of the top mentioned things was this notion about personalizing your customer segments at scale. So if you're a B2B marketer, or you go to any B2B company's website. So I took a snapshot here of Cloudflare. It's a sponsor here, so I thought it might be a good opportunity to leverage their website. You see these at the top menu bar, it says our customers, or what industries do we serve. There's this notion of customer segmentation that they know it works well. And the reason it works well is because you have these messaging that's really fine tailored towards them, right? So in the case of Cloudflare, they have it across industries. Persona is a very common theme that people use to personalize their content. A lot of companies want to do account-based marketing, going one level deeper and creating that hyper-personalized landing page, hyper-personalized email for that one specific account to help their sales team. Now, this is great, but again, how can we do this at scale? It's rarely seen beyond the landing page, beyond the main homepage, that you see personalized campaigns actually happen. So that's what we do at Tofu. So I'll show you a quick demo live on what we do. So here, let me make it slightly bigger. At Tofu, we start with what we call a playbook. So playbook is really that common place of everything about your marketing team. Think about your positioning, your messaging, your tone. We want to make sure we get that correct. A lot of times you use ChatGPT and it says, oh, it sounds like a junior content writer, great. But it's not really something I would use in my day-to-day. And the reason is because we're off-brand, right? So we have this place where you can add that information, everything from your style guide to your positioning, to your competitive advantage. We start from your website. As soon as you add your website, we go and actually crawl and scrape your website. So we know exactly what kind of products and services you provide, but also the messaging, the tone. If you're a dev tool company, your messaging is different. For example, if you're facing an e-commerce company, right? So we want to make sure we get that correct. So you can add more information. A lot of times companies have information like their style guide, their positioning. So whatever information you have, you can add here. Now let's actually go to the personalization part. So we are able to add these things called targets. Targets are customer segments across anything you might have defined. It could be industries, persona. So in the case of Cloudflare, they might be targeting IT directors or the chief information security officer or the DevOps person. And all that information you can put it here. Now this is very different from prompting a chatbot where you have this amazing context that you want to provide, but you're limited by the context window. We have unlimited context that you can provide. Let's say I want to go one level deeper. Let's say I want to really support my sales team and do this account-based marketing. And I have these Fortune 100 companies that I want to target and create custom personalized content for them. We provide that. So we have direct integrations with your marketing automation tools like HubSpot, Marketo. We directly sync with them, as you see here. So we are able to pull in information about your HubSpot directly, and so that whatever list that you have defined there, you can pull it in. Let's give it a second. So you can see you can pull in any list here. Any private information that you might have in your CRM, right? Let's say you have some notes about that account, and you want to leverage that as much as possible. You can all ingest that in. So for each of these companies, we go and crawl and scrape their website too, right? So for example, Oracle or Costco, we go and crawl and scrape their website so we understand what they're doing. And on top of that, for each of these accounts, we do a lot of account research for you. So for each of the companies, we say, what are their pain points right now this quarter? How can Cloudflare specifically help them? So if you look at a big company, they have a full ABX team, right? We do that for you. We want to make sure you can do a lot of that hyper-personalized marketing at the account level without you having to have a huge team. The notion of a target is very generic. So we have these different industries. If you have some information about these industries that you would like us to use, you can also provide that as well. All right, so let's actually create some content. So we have this factory where we're really thinking about it as a content engine, right? So let's try to run an ABM campaign for Fortune 100 companies. I'll do personalization. The first step is you add now these targets, and we pull this information from the playbook. So I'll go here and just select all of them. You can also kind of cross-combine different targets. So let's say I want to target the CISO within these Fortune 100 accounts. You can do that as well. So let's just select these targets. The next step is adding instructions. So this is your really way to prompt the AI on how you want the output to be like, right? So for example, I could say, this is a targeted campaign for each individual company. So add their name, if possible, in the output. You can add more instructions. For example, we could say, make the tone professional. And now the great thing here is, again, if you actually use AI or ChatGPT or any kind of chat-based AI interface for your marketing content in your day-to-day, soon you'll find it kind of not the best way to do it in a repeatable way. What we really think about is workflows. How can we save you time? So we have this notion of presets. So you can save these instructions as a preset, and you can say, oh, ABM instructions that work well. So the next time you do a new campaign, all you have to do is switch the targets, right? You're not wrangling with the AI to get the exact tone right. You've already figured that, so there's no real need for you to do that again. Let's actually create some content. So at the beginning, I mentioned omni-channel content, right? That's really what marketers want. So we provide a host of different types of content types. Everything from landing pages to white papers, email marketing, SDR marketing, social posts, webinars, you name it. I'll start something simple by just doing a landing page. So I'll actually pull in Cloudflare's page right now. So what we're doing is we're using the underlying page that they already have to make sure it's on brand as possible. And what we're going to do is now personalize it for those Fortune 100 companies. And we're doing this live just in a matter of minutes. So we'll pull their website, give it a minute or two. And the reason we do this is we want to make sure, again, the overall output is on brand and is really close to your actual template as possible. So that's why we use this template. Let's give it a bit. Wi-Fi has been down, and this is not my computer. They asked me to change the computer last minute, so let's see if we can pull this information. I'm just going to check. Is the Wi-Fi good? Yeah, okay. Let me try one more time in another browser. Okay, the network is not. Okay. Bear with me for a minute as we're trying to get the network. It seems the network's kind of flaky. No.
I have another network we can try.
Not this one.
Oh, this one?
I don't know the password.
Yeah, I know it.
Oh, we're good.
I know the password for this one. Can we shift to the other screen while I type it?
No, it's good. I think we're good now. Let me add a new content. Let's try again. So we'll pull the underlying landing page website real quick. And what we've done at this point is broken the website down to different components. So I'll go ahead and select the different components that you want to personalize. So let's say I want to personalize this H1 part, this component. I'll keep other parts static, and maybe these. So I've selected 3 different components, and I'll get started. And just like that, I can generate. It's asking me to confirm because I'm going to generate 100 landing pages here. But just like that, now I'm able to create 100 personalized landing pages for your existing website with a click. And just to show you the omni-channel component of this, I'll also pair this with, let's say, okay, now I have a personalized landing page, but how am I actually going to use this? I'll have maybe create a personalized email so that I can drive traffic to this landing page. You can provide a template that you might already have. So by a lot of times, our customers have an email outbound sequence that they are already using. But then the sales team says, hey, like we're having important meetings with like Starbucks next week. Can you create that custom email or that custom one-pager for me? And this is where we really come in. So you can use an existing template if you have one, but we also provide you a way to generate this template. And what we're doing is, in this case, we've created a custom email SDR outbound sequence for one company, in this case 3M, that's coming from Cloudflare. We provide you 2 different variations by default. You can always generate more variations. You can add instructions on how you want to tune the template. But let's use the template for now. And just like the landing page, you just go ahead and select the parts you want to personalize. So let's say I want to personalize that subject line and this body. And I will go ahead and generate all these emails as well. So now what we're doing is we're going and generating the SDR email for like 3M, Dow, IBM, AT&T, and so forth. While we're waiting for this, we'll look at some of the landing pages that have been already generated. So let's look at the one for IBM. So you can kind of see we've personalized these components specifically for IBM. And what we're doing here, again, remember, we're pulling all the information that we automatically extracted for each one of these accounts and personalizing it and still making sure the output is on brand, using the same fonts, using the same length, so we don't like make your landing page wacky as much as possible. You can dive into these individual components. You can kind of select and choose the one you want. There's always a human in the loop, so you can finalize the actual copy before it gets published. You also have ways to add instructions at the component level. So let's say this is a header, so make it impactful by adding an emoji. Not necessarily that you would do that, but to demonstrate the purpose. And just like that, you have a way to, again, like do everything from creating hundreds and thousands of marketing content at scale, but still being able to fine-tune the output the way you want. So look at some different variations. Let's look at the one for AT&T. So this one for AT&T. All right, so let's take a look at those emails. So for Dow, it had this. It says things like Dow's mission to achieve operational excellence and sustainable practices. So it's able to pull in very specific information about each of those companies. Same for Nike, and so forth. And the great thing here is, again, we think a lot about workflows. If you ask somebody that uses a general chat-based interface, the thing is really hard to replicate. But we really have to go that last mile to help a marketer. And what is that? It's integration with your other tools. So I'll show you a quick way. I'll stop the generation for now because I want to show you how we can actually export this to a tool that you use. So for landing pages, give me 1 second. The second one is the one that worked. For landing pages, we work with any web hosting providers in the world. So Webflow, WordPress, your own website, it doesn't matter. All you have to do is add this script. And then depending on a query parameter at the end, you will get customized versions of that landing page shown to you users. So it's really minimal overhead on your end. Let me just show you pushing this to, for example, HubSpot. So I'll create a new dynamic page. Not all of them were generated, so I'll just select a few. And let's export these 5 landing pages. So now what we're able to do is everything from doing account research to creating a landing page that's really on brand and on the same tone as your current website, and then personalizing that across hundreds of companies, and then having that landing page actually ready to go in your marketing automation tool all in 5 minutes. So let's refresh. So this is the one that we just created. I'll quickly click preview, go to a new tab. So we'll just add a query parameter at the end, IBM. And like this, you have your landing page in HubSpot ready to publish, just like that. Same for emails. Your emails, we work with HubSpot, Marketo. We're also doing integration with Salesforce which means we can work with any other outbound tools like Outreach, Salesloft, you name it. So that's personalization at scale. The second thing we heard a lot, again, going back to the original discussion, right? We tallied up all the things that people mentioned that they really think AI can help. The first thing is around personalizing at scale across customer segments. The second is the notion of repurposing your content across different channels. A lot of times, marketers are underutilizing their channels just because they don't have bandwidth. But you all have that one webinar or that one white paper that is stuck somewhere in the middle of, behind your website and no one ever checks again. How cool would it be to use AI to repurpose this content and utilize all those channels? So that's what we also do. So I'll show you a second demo real quick. So the second demo is repurposing content. So for repurposing, we start with what we call this anchor content. Anchor content is the primary piece of content that you use to create all other derivative content in your channels. So it can be anything, like a webinar, a podcast, a blog post, a case study, a white paper. So let's go ahead and look into Cloudflare and see what kind of content they have, right? Typically, it's in the resource tab. They have Resource Hub. So let's take a look here. White paper is a really great one to repurpose, so let's try that. So 3 challenges of securing and connecting application services. How many people would have seen this? How cool would it be if we could create a quick blog post, a LinkedIn post from this with minimal work on your end? So let's download this. And let's use that as your anchor content. So I'll upload this file. And it was called 3 challenges of securing and connecting application services. So I'll name that anchor content. Next thing, you can add these instructions. Again, you have presets, so you don't have to wrangle with your AI every single time. Once you've got that repurposing flow really worked well, and you know how your blog looks like, it's in the tone, you don't have to re-enter that again. All you have to do is pull in that presets. Let's add some content. For this, it's much more simpler. All you have to do is select the type of contents you want. Let's say I want to create a quick marketing email snippet. Let's say I want to create a quick blog post out of this white paper. And let's say last, I want to create a LinkedIn post. And I'll simply go and generate for all of these. And again, here, we're doing a lot of things behind the hood, right? We know what your company's about. We've already created a playbook just about your company. We're pulling this anchor content, so we know all the details that are in this anchor content for you. Any kind of instructions you might have added, we're also ingesting that. And then we're using best practices for each of these channels, so you can create content across these channels as easy as possible. So let's give it a second or two while it generates some content. So the LinkedIn post is done. I go into it, and just pulling very specific information from that white paper, it's able to do very easily. Again, you can add custom instructions. You can say, format it to have 3 high-level bullet points. Or you can say, add a CTA at the end to check out cloudflare.com. And you're kind of going through this process of tuning your output in the way you want. But the next time you do, everything else is set. All you have to do is drop a new anchor content, and you have these contents ready to go. Let's give it a minute while it generates. And you can kind of look at these different variations. So I kind of pulled it out to 3 different bullet points. So that is repurposing content. So I want to talk a little bit, again, there's so many tools out there. That sounds really cool. It's a great demo. I think the biggest difference between a demo tool and an actual tool that helps you is solving the marketer's problem. And for B2B marketers, there's 2 things that's really important for them that we hear again and again. The first thing is making sure the output is on brand. Can we ingest our style guide? Can we output in a tone that I want? If it's not the way in tone that I want, can I adjust it? So that's super important for us. Unlimited context upload. We have a dedicated playbook for everything that you want to upload there. Customer segments, like your personas, your target accounts, all of that can be directly linked with your CRM. So you have to have minimal overhead, like copy pasting over an output to your final destination. And the second part is the integrated workflows. Again, integration with your HubSpot account, your Marketo account, Salesforce, any website hosting providers in the world, we provide that. So that's it for my slides. I hope you enjoyed it. If you're a Series A to public company, we have paid customers all the way throughout this range. Please check us out. I'm happy to chat with you. If you want to run more effective campaigns with a leaner team, we really think Tofu can help. So feel free to check out our website or email me at ej@tofuhq.com, and I'll also be on the site to answer any questions. Thank you.